Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to talk about the fight you're in, the fight of your life. No, it's not with your boss, your competitors, or the world. It's with someone far closer. It's you. The greatest opponent you'll ever face is staring back at you in the mirror every single day. Why? Because the war inside your head determines every step you take in life. You can't conquer the world until you conquer yourself. Think about how many times have you held yourself back? You had the idea, the drive, the opportunity, but something whispered in your ear, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? That voice is not the world, it's you. And here's the truth. The version of you that doubts, procrastinates, and settles is fighting to keep you where you are. But the version of you that dreams, grows, and conquers is screaming to break free. Let me tell you something, you don't lack talent, resources, or opportunity. You lack the willingness to defeat the part of you that says you can't. Your first step in this battle is owning your thoughts. Most people let their minds run wild like untamed beasts, but you're different. You're here because you're ready to take control. Master your mind or it will master you. The most challenging battles we face in life are not against external forces, they're against ourselves. Every day, there's a version of you trying to keep you in your comfort zone. It tells you to stay where it's safe, to avoid risks, to settle for good enough. That voice inside you whispers doubts, raises fears, and creates imaginary barriers that seem insurmountable. But the truth is, those barriers aren't, they're self-imposed. When you look in the mirror, you're staring at your greatest competition. No one else knows your weaknesses like you do. No one else knows your fears, your insecurities, and the excuses you use to justify not taking action. And because of that, no one else can stop you as effectively as you can stop yourself. Think about it. How often do you blame circumstances, people, or external factors for holding you back? In reality, the true obstacle is the story you keep telling yourself. I'm not ready. I don't have what it takes. What if I fail? Those aren't truths, they're narratives you've chosen to believe. And until you confront them, they'll keep winning. Here's the paradox. You are also your greatest ally. Within you is a version of yourself that is powerful, determined, and capable of incredible things. That version of you doesn't listen to fear or doubt. It doesn't care about comfort zones. It's the part of you that dreams big, sets ambitious goals, and refuses to quit. The real battle is deciding which version of you will take control. Winning this internal battle starts with self-awareness. You must recognize when you're sabotaging yourself, when you're choosing comfort over growth, excuses over effort, and fear over courage. Every time you choose to push through those moments, you weaken the grip of the old, limiting version of yourself and strengthen the version that's destined for greatness. Remember, no one else can truly defeat you. People may doubt you, circumstances may challenge you, but in the end, the only one who can hold you back or prop you forward is you. And the choice is yours every single day. Self-doubt is a prison, and the only key to freedom lies within you. It wraps around your mind like chains, whispering lies about your worth, your abilities, and your potential. It doesn't just hold you back, it paralyzes you. It convinces you that playing small is safer, that not trying is better than risking failure. But let me tell you something, those chains are made of fear. And fear is nothing but an illusion. You were not born to live in the shadow of hesitation. The world doesn't need another person afraid to step into their greatness. It needs someone willing to rise above the noise of uncertainty and claim their power. Doubt isn't who you are, it's just a story you've repeated so many times that you've started to believe it. It's time to rewrite that story. Every time you hesitate, every time you shrink back, you give more power to those chains. But the moment you take action despite the doubt, despite the fear, you weaken them. Action is the antidote to self-doubt. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be big. Even the smallest step forward shatters the illusion of your limitations. Here's the truth. No one else is going to break those chains for you. You can wait your entire life for permission, for someone to tell you you're good enough, smart enough, or strong enough, but that permission has to come from within. The only person who can give you the courage to move forward is you. When you stop letting self-doubt define you, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see yourself not as the timid, uncertain version that doubt has created, but as the unstoppable force you've always had the potential to be. The chains fall away, and for the first time, you're free to step fully into your power. Freedom from self-doubt doesn't mean the fear disappears, it means you choose to act anyway. It means you stop listening to the voice that says, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? Because the truth is, your success is inevitable if you refuse to let doubt dictate your life. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory and every defeat begins. If you want to change your life, you must first take full ownership of your thoughts, because they shape everything. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every dream you pursue starts with the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. You cannot afford to let your mind be a chaotic, undisciplined force. If you do, it will control you instead of you controlling it. The mind is a powerful tool, but only if you command it. Right now, your thoughts are either serving you or sabotaging you. They are either building your empire or tearing it down. You are not a passive passenger on this journey. You are the driver. And the moment you take full control of your thoughts, you take full control of your destiny. You've heard it said that what you think you become. That's not just a cliche, it's a fact. The person you are today is the result of the thoughts you've entertained for years. But the beauty is you have the power to change that at any moment. No one can take ownership of your mind unless you allow it. So how do you take ownership? It begins with awareness. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Are they empowering or disempowering? Are they leading you toward greatness or keeping you stuck in mediocrity? You must become ruthless in eliminating thoughts that undermine your potential. Thoughts of self-doubt, fear, and limitation have no place in a mind determined to succeed. The moment you decide to take ownership of your mind, you free yourself from the prison of negativity. You stop letting external circumstances dictate your internal state. The world will always try to impose its noise and distractions on you, but you have the power to choose what you focus on. Own your thoughts, and you will own your actions. Own your actions, and you will own your results. Mastering your mind is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. Every day you must choose to feed your mind with the right thoughts. You must be intentional about what you allow to take root in your mind. The most powerful tool you have is the ability to choose your thoughts. When you own your mind, you unlock a level of strength and power that no circumstance can touch. It's time to take full control and start shaping the life you've always dreamed of. Limiting beliefs are the silent chains that keep you locked in place, preventing you from stepping into your true potential. These beliefs are not truths, they are false constructs built on fear, insecurities, and the conditioning of the past. They are the stories you've been told and the stories you've repeated to yourself so many times that you've come to accept them as reality. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. It's too late for me. These are the lies that hold you hostage, trapping you in a life far smaller than what you're capable of. But here's the thing, those beliefs aren't yours. They were handed to you. And over time, you accepted them as fact. The moment you wake up and realize that these beliefs are not your truth, you have the power to shatter them. And when you do, you begin to free yourself from the shackles that have been holding you back for so long. These limiting beliefs are not obstacles. They are illusions. You have the strength to tear them down brick by brick with the sheer force of your will and your new understanding of who you truly are. Every time you challenge a belief, you weaken it. Every time you question the story you've been telling yourself, you destroy its power over you. The truth is, you were never meant to play small. You were not born to fit into a box created by others' perceptions. You are a force of nature, capable of achieving far more than your mind has allowed you to believe. But first, you must destroy the lies you've been feeding yourself. You must look at every limiting belief, every doubt, every fear, and confront it head on. You must be relentless in your pursuit of truth. Because once you see the truth that you are limitless, that you are worthy, that you have what it takes, you unlock a power that no one can ever take away from you. You have to be willing to fight for your greatness. The lies are comfortable because they give you an excuse to remain stagnant. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Growth comes from discomfort. It comes from pushing beyond the limitations you've placed on yourself. It comes from stepping into the unknown and refusing to listen to the voice that tells you it's too risky. Destroying limiting beliefs is not just about changing your thoughts, it's about changing your identity. It's about recognizing that the person you've been telling yourself you are is not who you were meant to be. The real you is powerful, unstoppable, and deserving of every success, every opportunity, and every dream you've ever had. It's time to break the chains. It's time to release yourself from the prison of your own mind. Destroy the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, and watch as the world opens up to you in ways you never thought possible. You are not bound by your past. You are not defined by your mistakes. You're mistaken by your purpose and your relentless drive to become the person you were always meant to be. Step into that truth, and nothing will be able to stop you. Fear is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally in disguise. Too often we run from fear, allowing it to paralyze us, to stop us before we even start. We've been taught that fear is a signal to retreat, to play small, to stay in the safety of what we know. But that's not what fear is meant to do. Fear is a force, raw, untapped energy that, when harnessed, can propel you forward in ways nothing else can. Imagine for a moment, every time fear rises within you, instead of shrinking back, you lean into it. You allow it to fuel you, to ignite the fire within you. The fear of failure. The fear of judgment, the fear of the unknown, all of it can be channeled into the power you need to take that next step, to push past your limits, to accomplish what others think is impossible. When fear arises, it's telling you that you are on the brink of something significant. It's the signal that you're about to step into a new realm of possibility. Fear is the body's natural response to growth. It's the voice of your future self, calling you to greatness, challenging you to expand beyond what you thought was possible. The bigger the fear, the bigger the opportunity. If you let it, fear will transform into the fuel that drives you toward your highest potential. Think about the moments in your life where you felt that rush of fear, the moments when you chose to push through, when you chose to act anyway. Those were the moments that defined you. The moments when you stepped out of your comfort zone, when you leaned into the discomfort. That's when you grew, that's when you transformed, that's when you truly came alive. Fear doesn't stop you, it elevates you. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to embrace it. When you choose to stop running, when you choose to stand tall in the face of your fears, you turn what was once a threat into a driving force. You become unstoppable. Fear is not a wall, it's a doorway. Behind it lies your next level. And every time you walk through that doorway, you emerge stronger, wiser, and closer to your true power. Fear, when harnessed, becomes the energy that pushes you to take action when everything inside you wants to freeze. It forces you to think bigger, to act bolder, and to break through barriers that once seemed unmovable. Fear will not defeat you unless you let it. So instead of letting fear control you, choose to control it. Use it as fuel to accelerate you toward your dreams, your goals, your destiny. Every time you face fear head on, you step into your greatness. And that's the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Motivation is a fleeting spark. It ignites, it flares, and then it fades. It comes when you're inspired, when things are easy, when everything aligns perfectly. But what happens when the spark dies out? What happens when life gets hard, when the challenges mount, when the excitement fades and you're left standing in the cold, wondering if you have the energy to keep going? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline doesn't rely on inspiration. It's the quiet, consistent force that pushes you forward even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving when the world tells you to stop. It's the decision to take action even when the path seems long, even when you're tired, even when you want to quit. It's the commitment to your goals that doesn't waver with your emotions or external circumstances. Motivation will fail you, discipline will not. Motivation is a burst of energy, discipline is a steady, unshakable force that will carry you to the finish line no matter how many times you fall. When you rely on motivation, you give your power away to something outside of yourself. You allow your progress to be determined by the whims of your mood, your environment, and the things that are beyond your control. But when you cultivate discipline, you take back that power. You decide each and every day that no matter what, you will show up. You will do the work. You will move forward. Discipline is the key that unlocks the door to greatness. It is the difference between a dream that remains an illusion and a dream that becomes reality. Motivation can get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going when it seems impossible. It's the quiet force behind every great success story. It's the refusal to give up when things get tough, to push through the pain, to do what needs to be done, even when it's inconvenient. When you choose discipline over motivation, you choose consistency. And consistency over time always leads to success. Remember, greatness is not built on the peaks of motivation. It's built on the grind of discipline. It's waking up when you'd rather sleep, pushing through when every part of you wants to quit, staying focused when distractions pull you in every direction. Discipline is the daily commitment to your vision, no matter how small the step, no matter how insignificant the task may seem. It's the sum of those small actions repeated over and over that lead to the extraordinary. So stop waiting for motivation to come to you. It will come and go like the tide, but discipline will always be there, ready to carry you when nothing else will. It's the foundation on which you build your success, your future, and your legacy. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. And when you make it a habit, when you make it a part of who you are, you'll realize that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand in your way. The power of decision is the most transformative force in your life. It is the moment when you stop hesitating, stop second guessing, and you commit with every ounce of your being to a course of action. Every single thing in your life right now is a direct result of the decisions you've made. Your success, your failures, your relationships, your health, all of it stems from the choices you've made in the past. And the future you are going to create, that too is determined by the decisions you make today. The truth is, we often wait for the right moment to make a decision, but the right moment never arrives. We delay, we doubt, we fear the consequences of our choices, and in doing so, we give away our power. The most powerful people in the world didn't wait for perfect conditions. They decided to act, to move, to take that first step, no matter how uncertain the path. They understood that in the act of decision, there's a release of energy, a commitment that activates a chain of events that propels them forward. Every decision you make is an opportunity to change your life. Every single choice is a fork in the road, and the road you choose will define who you become. It's not just about the big decisions, it's about the small ones too. The decision to wake up early. The decision to push through when you're exhausted. The decision to keep going when you want to quit. These seemingly insignificant choices compound over time and shape your destiny in ways you cannot even begin to fathom. Deciding is not just about choosing a direction, it's about declaring who you are and what you are willing to stand for. It's about saying to the world, I am in control of my life. I will not wait for permission. I will not make excuses. I will not allow circumstances to dictate my future. I am the architect of my own fate. The power of decision is your declaration of self-determination. It's you standing tall in the face of uncertainty and saying, I am ready for what comes next. The act of decision has the ability to shift your mindset, to open new doors, and to push you beyond the limits of what you thought was possible. The moment you make a decision, you stop being passive, you stop being a victim of circumstance, you step into your power. And in that moment, the universe shifts in response to your commitment. Opportunities begin to appear, the right people show up, and solutions to problems start presenting themselves because you've chosen to move forward with clarity and purpose. But here's the catch: making decisions requires courage. It requires you to take risks, to trust yourself, even when the outcome is uncertain. It demands that you break free from the paralysis of overthinking, that you stop waiting for perfection and start taking action. A decision isn't just a choice, it's a commitment to move, to act, to put your stake in the ground and say, this is where I stand in the end. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't their circumstances, it's their ability to make powerful decisions. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you, and it happens the moment you decide to take control, to choose to act. Every moment of hesitation costs you. Every moment of indecision robs you of your potential. So today, right now, make the decision to take charge of your life, to step forward and to trust that the moment you decide, everything changes. Your past does not define you. It cannot hold you prisoner, nor can it determine the person you will become. Every mistake, every failure, every setback is nothing more than a chapter in the story of your life, but it is not the final chapter. The weight of your past may feel heavy, like a burden that follows you, but it only holds power over you if you allow it. The truth is, your past is just a series of events, a series of choices, and you are no longer bound by them. You are free to choose who you want to become, starting right now. Every day, you have the power to rewrite your story. You have the power to shed the old identity that was shaped by your past and step into a new version of yourself. A version that is limitless, untethered by the mistakes or disappointments that may have once defined you. Your past does not control your future unless you let it. You are not the sum of your failures, your regrets, or your past decisions. You are not your mistakes. You are the person you choose to become in this moment. It's time to stop looking over your shoulder, dwelling on what's been and gone. The only thing that matters is what you do from here on out. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to be the person you are today. Every choice you make from this moment forward holds the power to transform your life. Let go of the lies that tell you that because of your past, you are destined for mediocrity or failure. Those lies are chains. And the moment you decide to break them, you free yourself. The truth is, your greatest power lies in your ability to rise, to learn, to evolve. It's in your ability to embrace the pain of the past, transform it into wisdom, and use that wisdom. Your past doesn't have to be a cage that keeps you small. It can be the fuel that drives you to greatness. What matters now is what you choose to do with the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the vision you hold for your future. You are the creator of your own destiny. The past may have shaped you, but it does not control you. You have the power to decide who you are, what you believe, and what you're capable of. Every single day you are reborn in the choices you make. The story of your life is still being written and you hold the pen. So stop letting the ghosts of your past dictate your future. Step into the power of who you truly are. Embrace the opportunity that exists in this very moment. Your past doesn't define you. What you do from here on out does. And that is the most powerful thing you will ever realize. The key to winning the war in your life is not found in grand, sweeping victories. It's found in the small battles you win every single day. It's the decisions you make when no one is watching. It's the discipline you cultivate in the quiet moments, the actions you take when it's easier to do nothing. These small, seemingly insignificant choices are what compound over time to create monumental results. The war is not won in the big moments, it's won in the mundane, the everyday. Every day presents you with a choice to rise or to stay down, to push forward or to shrink back, to fight or to surrender. The small battles are where true strength is built. It's in these moments that your character is forged, where your resolve is tested, where you learn the difference between who you are and who you could become. It's not about waiting for a grand moment to prove your strength. It's about showing up consistently, doing the work, overcoming the doubts, and choosing greatness. Even in the smallest of actions, winning the small battles means making the decision to keep going when you're exhausted, to stay focused when distractions pull at your attention, to take the right action when fear and uncertainty try to paralyze you. It's pushing through the tough moments when everything inside you screams to quit. Each time you win, no matter how small, you become stronger, more resilient, more unstoppable. You build momentum in Chiban. You create habits of success that will carry you through the hard times, and when the big moments come, you will be ready because you've already built the muscle. The small battles are the foundation of everything you want to achieve. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but they are the building blocks of your future. A day where you choose discipline over distraction, where you choose action over procrastination, where you choose perseverance over doubt. Those are the victories that stack up over time to create extraordinary results. Winning these battles is not just about getting through the day. It's about proving to yourself that you have the strength to rise every single time, no matter how hard the fight. So, don't wait for the big breakthrough. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Understand that your success is being built right now with every choice you make. The power is in the small victories, the consistent actions that define who you are and who you are becoming. When you win these small battles daily, you become an unstoppable force. The world is shaped by those who master the everyday, and when you commit to winning those battles, you will shape your world into one of power, purpose, and relentless achievement. Your potential is limitless, an untapped well of power, creativity, and strength that lies dormant within you, waiting for the moment you choose to unleash it. Every single one of us is born with the capacity for greatness. Yet most people live their lives unaware of what they are truly capable of. They settle for the comfort of what they know, trapped in self-imposed limitations, believing the false narrative that there are boundaries to what they can achieve. But the truth is, there are no limits to your potential except the ones you place on yourself. Why? Why you were not put on this earth to live a life of mediocrity. You are not bound by your past, your failures, or the doubts that plague your mind. You are not defined by the opinions of others or by the circumstances you find yourself in today. Your true potential lies far beyond the limits of your current situation. It is not something that can be measured by what you've done so far. It is something that grows, expands, and evolves as you continue to rise, to challenge yourself, and to push beyond what you once thought was possible. Every day, you have the power to step into a version of yourself that is greater than anything you've ever imagined. Your potential is not fixed. It is dynamic, ever-growing, and boundless. It is not constrained by age, background, or past experiences. The moment you realize that your true capacity has no end, you begin to tap into the infinite possibilities that exist for you. The only limits that exist are the ones you choose to accept. And once you shed those limiting beliefs, nothing can hold you back. You are capable of achieving far more than you can see right now. I'm too old, I'm not smart enough, it's too late. No. Those are excuses wrapped in fear. And fear is just energy waiting to be redirected. Channel it. Let it fuel your fire instead of fueling it. But listen closely, motivation won't save you. It's fleeting. Discipline, my friends, is the real game changer. It's the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's how you win the daily battles against yourself. And don't you dare let your past define you. Your mistakes, they're lessons. Your failures, they're stepping stones. You are not your history. You are your potential, and your potential is limitless. Winning this battle is not about massive overnight changes. It's about small, consistent victories. Wake up earlier, push through when you want to quit. Say yes to the hard things that make you grow, and no to the easy things that hold you back. Each of these wins strengthens the warrior inside you. And here's the bottom line. You are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. The only question is, are you willing to stand up, face yourself, and say, not today, not in war. I refuse to be my own worst enemy. The moment you stop fighting against your potential is the moment you step into your power. And when you win the battle against yourself, the world doesn't stand a chance. So, get out there, fight, grow. And remember, every time you take one step forward, the old you loses. Victory is yours if you're willing to claim it.